Once again, we definitely say blessed love to each and every one. Give thanks for your presence with us. Of course, we give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Emperor Haile Selassie I, in all our doings, in all of our sayings, in all expression. We are very thankful for your presence with us even this evening. I would like to, of course, welcome you to another edition of The Tiger's Nest. Remember, this is a program that comes to you each and every evening at the hour of 7 p.m. Eastern Caribbean time. And give thanks even for the Nyabingi the Nyabingi cutting and clearing that has brought us in thus far. And even when we seal again some more Nyabingi to follow, as we are now in the moment of the Lenten moment is now upon us. I give thanks continually for 40 days and 40 nights in the wild. And this is a moment of deep, deep reflection, a moment of deep celebration, a moment of many things. One could, if they desire, concentrate on the suffering thereof, the messianic suffering, but the resurrection, it's a moment of resurrection and a moment of prosperity and success. And this is how we are gathering this moment, the Lenten moment. So give thanks for all those who are partaking of that. The Honorable Priest Isaac here with you again. This is Radio Anu. This is the international flavor. This is the universal spice. And we're very thankful that you have taken the time to come into this zone, this atmosphere, to really, sup in with us even this evening. And let me just say as well, for those who are not subscribers to this radio program, of course, that's a very simple thing to do. This is the Priest Isaac Institute of Holistic Knowledge website that you are on, priestisaacinstitute.com. So you could definitely even subscribe from right here on the website, or you could email us, priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, and let us know that you would like to be a part of the subscription team. Family, before we go into the subject this evening, there's so many things that are taking place. Let me just make it clear again, especially those of you who are in the nation of Antigua and Barbuda. The official Priest Isaac essay competition, African History Month essay competition, is definitely ongoing. We have already allocated the 3 major prizes. And let me say, even for those in the international community, for sure, you know that I would have to bring the report officially to you. And as I said before, those who are close to us on the Tiger's Nest, we purposely kept the, if you want to say, the sponsorship level of it to a national level for specific reasons. So we are thankful again for those who would have come forward, and give thanks to the young ones who are already preparing their essays. And we're looking forward to having a mighty and powerful banquet. So all the young ones who would have partook and those who would have won their prizes will feel the gratitude of the reward that they will be getting from I and I, for their effort in showing their love for their Afrocentricity. So yes, family, of course, even from the 3rd of November, which would have been Patriots Day, remember, this is why we have our Patrons Day telethon. Really, the main reason for the telethon is to even allocate funds to assist in the budget of the African History Month essay competition, which we do each and every year. This is the 10th year that we are doing it. And I must say, with all the love in the world, we're thankful for those who would have stepped up and those who would have contributed. But I must say, for the cry that we would have put out, the call we would have put out, the time that we would have taken to explain not only just the benefits of, but the importance of the essay competition and solutions similar to that. With all humility, I would expect that the audience would have been more forthcoming as it relates to contributing to this effort, this solution, as it relates to piece of the grand puzzle, you know. Proaction, not reaction. Strategies, yes, which is the national essay competition. And of course, even here in the nation of Antigua and Barbuda, we give thanks to those who would have already come forward and have put forward their hand to assist. But again, if I'm to balance the outcall, the outcry, I would say the marketing and promotion that this activity gets, especially with the explanation from myself of exactly the value of it and the origin of it and the genesis of it and why we do it, etc., etc. Especially when you couple it with the obvious state of our youths today, you would expect, again, that those of us who have a heart and understand, and as I said, 10 years we've been doing this, so it's not an idea we have. It's not as if, hey, I want to try this, let's see if it works. This is the 10th year without any major support, you know. Only people like yourselves, you know, and of course we definitely have to touch upon our own privy purse to make sure this goes through. So again, we're thankful for all those who came through, just letting you know, my mighty family, that the competition is on. And of course, we'll always keep you in tune. We definitely have an HP. Can't give you all the details now. One of these times when we do a live video, I would show you the prizes that are already in stock, tablets and laptops and computer classes and several other prizes that we have garnered together for the young ones of this region here, who will be putting their hands, I would say, to the plow to speak of what African history and heritage means to them. So of course, you know, even today I was on the nation's station, and of course I took the route of explaining to them why African history and heritage is so important. You know, a tree without its root is equivalent to a people without knowledge of self. And all you have to do is just imagine what a tree without its root is all about, and the importance of its roots. What's the purpose of the roots of the tree? To obviously to gather the nutrients from the moist earth. That's why when the water hits the earth, it somewhat activates the soil, and it puts the roots in a better position to suck the nutrients and suck the life that it needs from the soil, the energy, the strength, so that it can grow shiny leaves and a strong bark and beautiful flowers and a sweet fruit, and nutritious fruit and edibles, whatever it is it's producing. All of that comes from the root. So when you cut away the root, you just have an ornament there, one of them Christmas trees that they put in the house, or some kind of lamp post, just standing there, but not sucking life from the earth, not grounded. So we are her people, not grounded, just because we don't know ourselves. So just as simple as it seems, the fact that you don't know who you are, the fact that you don't know your history, the fact that you don't know that you, within your culture, had no word for prison in your culture. The fact that you don't understand this, you could go any way because you're a tree without root. You've been cut away from who you really are. So who knows who you will become? So this is why you have to implement programs that would bring the younger generation back to who they are. Now, that's not going to be easy because you live in a system that has been designed to make sure they don't know who they are. This is not by mistake. This is by design. Even though almost everyone here is of African origin, that don't make a difference. Uncle Sam is still around, whether you see him or not, because we have no African history or heritage in our school curriculum in a Black country. We don't even have our history as far as what took place here on these islands in our curriculum neither. But we know about John Hawkins. We know about Christopher Columbus. We know about Ferdinand and Isabella. We've read all Shakespeare's books. So that alone shows you that we are not supposed to know who we are. There are no mirrors in our house. No. Or they're covered down. Something, if we move the veil from the mirror, we'll be shocked. Oh, who's that? That's you. That's you. So I'm just happy to announce, family, yes, that we have already secured the 3 main prizes for the 3 specific categories, divisions of youths from juniors, intermediates, and seniors, and full steam ahead. Give thanks for all of those who would have even contributed, and those who are well wishers as well. It's all right. Your well wishing goes a very far way, or a long way. It goes very far. It goes a long way. Now, as I said this evening here, many of our and I as Rastafari within the Bobo Shanti tradition is looking forward to stepping into the Lenten period. Now, there's certain aspects of this Lenten period that I would have spoken on, at least for the last 3 or so years. The last 3 or so years, the previous 3 years, during the whole Lenten period from beginning to end, I would have done a series of presentations, even interviews, specifically dealing with the basic knowledge of the Lent as far as Bobo Shanti, and the mystic aspects of the Lent as far as, how I do it from time to time. Now, I'm saying that to say that there's no need sometimes to reinvent the wheel. And I must admit, I know, you always have a fresh audience coming in. So we're happy for that. And that is why we can even say to those of the audience who are really serious, all you have to do is to revisit our catalog, especially on the YouTube, and of which we are streaming to the YouTube at the moment. So let's say blessing to the YouTube fans. This specific Tiger's Nest, the full version will not be on YouTube. So at a specific time, we will have to leave the YouTube family. But of course, all you have to do is join us on Radio Anu, where everything is really taking place. So what I'm saying again now is that all you have to do is revisit my YouTube catalog. From you type in the word Lent or fasting, anything like that, you would see several programs directly dealing with our traditional Lent and, the theology behind the Lent and these different things. I did a wonderful program entitled A Mentor. That was a webinar lecture that we did. Oh, beautiful. I think that is a lecture or an episode I would advise anyone to look at again. In fact, even I myself, I will take the time to revisit some of these programs with the family live and direct so we don't miss them. So just go and revisit those, because you see, the reason why I'm saying this is because, again, reinventing the wheel, plus a lot of those aspects, I would like to touch upon it when I'm sitting down with Honorable Kes Westmore or Honorable Priest Lamont or Honorable Priest Earl, or, whichever priest will join us in the House of Priests, But this evening here, I still want to stay close to the subject, but I want to home in on a specific topic. And I directly want to deal with the fasting aspect of it. Now, again, we know as Bobo Shanti, we could talk about cup fast. We could talk about hearted fast. We could talk about, the 12 to 2 and 6 to 8, and we can go into all of that. As I said, most of us would know of that. Those who do not know, you can revisit some of my videos and you can get a great strength. But now, fasting in general, as a tradition, is really something that is obviously coming from ancient times. Of course, many would consider, when you hear fasting, it usually goes with fasting and prayer and a strong religious aspect that really goes with it. Now, obviously, there are strong health benefits as well, and mystical benefits, and that is what I want to get into. Of course, we know there are many different types of fasts that you would have. When you hear the term fast, it really has to do with staying away from food. In fact, even when you are asleep in one way or the other to some degree, that is even considered some level of a fast because you're not eating. And that is why it's not good to be feasting too late just before you go to sleep, because that would definitely irritate your resting fast, because the stomach now and the whole tract will have food maybe undigested and unattended to, that because the body has gone to rest, it's not able to digest it properly, and the organs may be working overnight, so somehow the fasting concept doesn't even apply there. But by right, when you go to sleep every night, hopefully that your food from your last meal, at least an hour or so ago, would have already found its way where it's supposed to be. That rest or that sleep would be considered a fast. But then now, on the level that we are accustomed to hear of fasting, again, you have different fasts. When you read your Bible, you'd hear about Christ fasting 40 days and 40 nights and not eating anything or drinking anything at all. Not breaking your fast 12 o'clock and breaking fast 6 o'clock. Just going without food for 40 days and 40 nights. They have people that go without food for longer than that. Even to go without food for 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, 9 days, 13 days, what have you, 21, 28 days. There are people that do that. No food whatsoever, no water whatsoever. And then there are ones that would keep up a fast again, whether it's 1 day, 3 days, 21 days, 28 days, and they eat no food whatsoever. You said that already. Yeah, but they drink water. Oh, all right. So it's a different thing there. You understand? So that some people may refer to that as a water fast. So they may drink their water at 12 o'clock or 12 and 6. And some people just drink the water all throughout. They just drink water, but they don't eat. Whether again it's for a day, whether it's for 2 days, whether it's for 3 days, whether it's until midday, because they're different levels. Some people are not accustomed to fast at all. Some people cannot go for food, without food, for how long? Okay, for example, some people cannot pass 9 a.m. in the morning without eating something. 9 a.m., 9 a.m. Oh, come on. There's those of us who would wake up at 6. And whether we are trained this way, especially if we're in the system, we got to go somewhere to earn our bread, and the traffic and catch the train and to hop the bus and got to get to the gas station, all of that, especially if you've been bred into that system. You've been trained to eat before 9. You've been trained to have a square meal, a well-rounded breakfast. If it's not muffins and croissant and bacon and eggs and Fruit Loops and Captain Crunch and something else, you know, toast and jam and whatever it is, you have already been trained, fashioned and formed in a way that going past 9 a.m. without drinking your hot tea, coffee, or mocha, or whatever it is almost like a crime. Some of us have not done anything like that in years or even ever until we were introduced to just the concept of fasting. Those of us who fast, sometimes you may meet someone and they tell you, boy, I haven't eaten nothing for the morning. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. Man, I don't eat nothing for the morning, you know. In fact, you may just suppose you, whatever reason, tell them, yeah, I'm fasting. You fasting? Boy, me too, you know, because I don't eat nothing for the morning. Man, since I leave home, I only drink a little tea and a piece of toast. Outside of that, I don't eat nothing for the whole day. So I fasting too. They don't understand. You see, that's why now, you know, to understand the science of fasting, when you read even in the scripture, there was this story about Saul and his army passing through an area where they were not supposed to eat anything until they reach a certain point. And his own son, I think, touched and ate a bit of honey from the honeycomb, and he violated really. But they wouldn't make Saul punish him because, you know, the Lord was with him. But the point is now that when you're fasting, you're fasting. When you're fasting, you must keep in mind, you know, when you put something in your mouth and you start to chew and you start to produce saliva with the strong acids to break down food, and your whole stomach and everything prepares for the food, and then you swallow that one peanut, whatever it is, this little thing alone, you turn your digestive system on. It's like you turn on a Delco or a generator or some sort of system, you know, some high hydraulic system, some big system you just turned on, it was off. And you came in the room and you press the button. That's what happens to your whole digestive system when you put something in your mouth and you start to chew it. So even if you think you just ate, all it took was a little piece. And they were grating the coconut. Oh, it's just a little piece I took. I didn't take too much. You have broken the fast by just eating the little piece of coconut. It's better you just did eat your lunch and done. Because all of that is just playing with the system. And then, of course, you have outside of the water fast, you have juice fast, where the water is just replaced by juice. So an individual may go with juice, maybe let's just say for the morning. And this is obviously for people who not really too deep in the fasting as yet and don't fast for too long. So to them, just drinking juice for the morning is a juice fast. Now to somebody who really into fasting, that's not even a fast. You know, you're just drinking some juice. But for those who are accustomed to make sure they have the full plate of breakfast and bowl of cereal before 9, for them, not eating until 9 is a fast. For them, drinking juice for the morning, orange juice, soursop juice, whatever, cane juice, coconut water until 12, and then go and eat whatever they eat, that's a fast to them. Now, for another person, a juice fast may have to be drinking juice for at least a whole day. Then you can classify it as a juice fast. To some, to some, even drinking juice for a week is not even a fast because they live on juice. So there are different levels here. They live on juice, you know. That's all they do. They drink green juices. They just live on juice because you got to keep in mind that whatever it is that we eat to nourish us, we're not dogs or them type of animals that we can bite a piece of meat and just swallow it whole and all of that stuff. We are supposed to chew and chew and chew, and our food is supposed to go down our esophagus as if it is liquid. So juicing your food is actually reality. The only thing is that nature really provides you with the teeth structure to juice it naturally. Because there's no better juicer than your teeth, It's reality. I know you can't, maybe you can't eat 10 beets to get half a cup of the beet juice that the juicer gives you. But when the juicer and the blender and all of these good stuff with their blade technique and everything, it does something to the food. It does irritate the cell formation just a bit. I'm not telling you not to juice. That's what I do too. But at least you just got to be conscious that anything that is diverting away from nature will bring certain effects. That is why look at how we drink aloes as Bobo Shanti. King Emmanuel teach us to soak the aloes. Someone's blend aloes too. You notice it gets foamy. So even that you watch green juice, when you're making your green juice, don't blend it too long. That should be about it. You don't want to be, you'll weaken it when you're just beating it down with the blenders if you're trying to, process peas or something. So the thing is now, again, different levels. Then you have the fruit fast. You have them different fasts, is it? Fruit fast. And all of these entail eating or drinking something. So we started with the fast, so you're eating nothing. So a real fast that I don't eat anything, to him or her, all of this other fast is not no fast. These are not fasts. It's just like a strict academic will tell you the step pyramid and these pyramids all over the world are not pyramids. The pyramids that we call pyramids in Egypt, in Giza, those are pyramids. Because a pyramid is a four-sided shape that meets at an apex with straight sides, etc., something like that. So all them step business and so disqualified from being a pyramid. It may look like a pyramid. Yeah. So I'm saying that to come back to the fast. A real hardcore faster will tell you there's nothing known as no juice fast. From your juicing, it's not a fast anymore. From your eating fruits, it's not a fast anymore. From anything you're doing that your system has to work to accommodate it, you have broken your fast, which is understanding. But we're not going to argue over semantics. It is obvious that a person who is accustomed to just eat in the regular way, for them to give the cooked food a moment and to just live off of fruits, even for a day, that is so beneficial to some of us. And if they want to call it a fruit fast just because of the benefits it's going to bring, let it be. It's just words. I ain't going to wrestle with no words. Enough people eat fast food, eh? Yeah, fast food, that's not fast food. That's slow food. That's slow food. This is the real fast food, the fruits. How long it take it to cook the food? That's fast food. Yeah, check it. So you're living off of fruits for three days. That shouldn't be no big problem. That shouldn't be nothing heavy. Look at us as Bobo Shan. We're fasting until 12 midday, those who do that fast. Then you eat your food, and then when you don't eat your food, you have enough time that, you could come and feast something else again, and then you don't eat again until the next day. That's just eating once a day. What we call, this fasting that we going through, as Bobo Shanti, is just simply eating once a day. It's not necessarily a fast, it's eating once a day. Where there are people in certain cultures that just eat once a day. In fact, when it's time for them to fast, obviously they're gonna have to clip out the once a day now. So when you come to them and tell them, hey, you fasting because you eating once a day, okay, you're just eating once a day. Now, intermittent fast is what you call a fast of such like that. And this is why I was explaining that you have different levels of the fasting. Of course, you have the prolonged fast. And again, you have the intermittent fast, which is really like a period of eating in a specific pattern and a specific cycle. What I wanted to do, family, is to go through some of the, I'm going to highlight some benefits, not just of fasting, but of the intermittent fasting, which again is the type of fasting that the Honorable King Emmanuel has introduced to us. So in other words, you see it's not a prolonged sort of I'm not eating thing. In fact, we eat every single day. So as long as this fast is 44, 45 days, there's not a day where you do not feast, but you feast at a specific time. So those of us who are fasting until, let's say, 6 o'clock, obviously we're eating at 6, the sunset. And then when we eat at 6, we start the fast again at 8 o'clock, the evening. Obviously, we're going to be resting 9, 10, whatever. So the food would have digested properly. Good. So we fast throughout the whole day and we come back and feast again at 6. And that keeps going and going and going. Intermittent fast period, you refer to that as. Then now, same thing with those who would break the fast at 12 midday. And then come back and start the fast between 2 and 3. The same thing. Come back at 12, break your fast. Next day, come back at 12. So the point is, it's a rhythm. That's all. It's a rhythm. And because you have created a rhythm in your fasting, not just not eating food for a long time, but a rhythm to the point that your body gets accustomed to it. Because that's what happens, you know. Your body, as they call it now, actually get accustomed to you not eating throughout the whole day, and knows that when the sun is in the middle of the sky, you're going to eat. And you're not just eating now, you're putting in you're doing it the right way, because as Bobo Shanti now, we break our fast with water, just a simple sip, not necessarily a big gulp and drink, just a sip, you know, and the type of fast you'll be going on. Speaking of sip and these different things, as we call it, ital sauce, and these things are very critical. As I said before, your green juice, it should be definitely a staple, you know, as you need them cell repairing sort of elements. So intermittent fasting benefits the health of the heart. It actually reduces inflammation and improves cell repair process, and even help in burning fats. Now, there are several of these benefits here, but I'm just going to touch a few of them and highlight them for us. Now, changes when the fast in itself, it changes the function of hormones, cells, and even your genes. Now, when you don't eat for a while, several things happen in the body. For example, your body changes hormone levels to make stored body fat more accessible and initiates important cellular repair processes. So basically, when you fast, you repair the cells. You see, the thing is, interestingly, with fasting, eating, is that from my understanding from certain scientists, is that yes, when you're not eating, the body goes through obviously certain changes. When you're not eating for a certain time, your body even actually stops producing a certain level of inflammation. That's why people that have arthritis and so, they're fasting for 5 days, they come and tell you, hey, I haven't bent my fist in so long and the pain was so great. All of these things happen because of fasting. So certain doctors, physicians will tell you, but when you do the fast, you fast and stop, fast and stop, fast and stop. It's as if you give the body a break and then you energize it again, break, energize it again. So even that process there has a different effect than even the long-term fasting. Both good, obviously, but I think we all understand, how the long-term no food or water at all can be. How many ever days, whether it's 3 days, 7 days, 40 days. And that's why we even took time to highlight the different types of fasting, even when we began. Very good. So here's some of the changes that occur in the goodie during fasting. Now, your insulin levels, the blood levels of insulin drop significantly, which facilitate in fat burning. Then the human growth hormone, its levels, HGH, human growth hormone. It says now the blood levels of the human growth hormone, again, HGH, may increase dramatically. Higher levels of this hormone facilitate fat burning and muscular gain and have numerous other benefits. All of this, family, is through the fasting. So when you lose weight through fasting, it's not because you're starving, If you starve if you want to starve. That starve thing can be a myth too, I'm not saying people can't starve. And then again, starvation and hungry and them things is lack of nutrients. Your belly full and you're hungry. Something goes up for you. You could be, your belly, as you call it, your stomach could be full. In fact, enough people's stomach full and intestines full of old food that not going nowhere, and they're still hungry. So you don't need to put nothing in it. Sometimes they hear your so-called belly growling. Don't necessarily, that's not a sign that you're quote unquote hungry. No matter how much you're eating, lack of nutrients is starvation, because your body is starving of the nutrients, not that you're starving for a piece of bread. Your body is starving of the nutrients to make it function properly, to repair the cells, etc., etc. So it's not starving make you lose the weight as such. The fasting, it's all about realigning the goodie, realigning the hormones, realigning the insulin, which facilitate fat burning. All of this is coming through fasting. Cellular repair. The body induces important cellular repair processes. This is by fasting. So you could imagine day 1 of the fasting, day 2, day 3, by day 12, a lot of different things start to happen to the goodie. Follow me, family, because many of you who listen to the Nest and follow us on the tube and these different avenues, you yourself from year to year, you look into the Bobo Shanti order. Many of you tried the Bobo Shanti order, the fasting period. This is a serious time. So it is good that you gain this level of knowledge even going into it. That's why I pointed you to all the videos we would have done, with the basic stuff, if you want to call it, in a sense, that we have sure will come around again, even in our discussions in Welcome to the House of Priests. But let us deal with this on a real scientific level, family, so you know what's really going on with yourself, especially when you're going into a journey like that. you're fasting. The body induces important cellular repair processes, which such as removing waste material from cells. So because you're fasting, you're removing waste from your cells, cleaning your cells because you're fasting. And remember specifically, these are the benefits of intermittent fasting specifically. All right, good. Now, gene expression. There are beneficial changes in several genes and molecules related to longevity and the protection against disease. So longevity, pardon me, is age, how you're aging, how how you look in your aging process, how youthful are you, I should say, depending on how much numbers you have on the board. And I can tell you, fasting really keeps you youthful. That's for sure. In all ways, in how you look and how you act and how you behave and how you feel. Yeah, I'm telling you. I mean, I know for sure. I still feel like how I would have felt 20 years ago, and that is the honest truth. I don't know if it's all beneficial to the fasting, but it's just that's what it is, straight up. So as you could see, there are many benefits here. It also deals with weight loss. That's a section that I'm going to. I would not even go into that in too much depth. Also, can reduce insulin resistance, lowering the risk of type 2 diabetes. All of that is fasting. So even if you're suffering with diabetes, type 2, 1, or any one of the types, fasting can help you and reduce oxidative stress and inflammation in the body. Let's go through this one. Oxidative stress is one of the steps towards aging and many chronic diseases. You see what oxidative stress is? That is what makes people look old and get old before their time. And I'm showing you fasting as a regiment, as a lifestyle. Remember, everything is a lifestyle. Good eating, Sabbath, Melchizedek order, lifestyle. So fasting is a lifestyle, not just the Lenten, the lifestyle of fasting. Remember, the woman asked King Emmanuel, what is it that bring you all of this success? What do you do to give you this success? And the man tell her, well, every morning he get up and he said prayer and he fasts until 12. That's what I remember. That clearly is what King Emmanuel said. And he fasts until 12 every morning. So oxidative stress is one of the steps towards aging and many chronic diseases. It involves unstable molecules called free radicals. And free radicals react with other important molecules such as protein and DNA and damages them. Okay. Several studies show that intermittent fasting, and again, we are highlighting intermittent fasting, may enhance the body's resistance to oxidative stress. Additionally, studies show that intermittent fasting can help fight inflammation, another key driver to many common disease. And of course, you don't know, Dr. Sebi would have definitely highlighted that for many of us a long time ago, just understanding, how dangerous it is really when it comes to stress, not stress, we call that stuff there, inflammation really in the goodie. Well, if you're pushing too much inflammation, it has definitely become a body. And of course, the inflammation itself is really considered like the origin of many, many diseases. In fact, and sickness and ailments. In fact, many ones are basically saying just that, like what Dr. Sebi would have thought, everything is really mucus. All diseases is really mucus. All diseases have that root. And again, well, at least that's a concept. I guess the next one will tell you everything starts in the colon. But the point is that fasting will definitely help to keep that on a low. And intermittent fasting as well, which is really, intermittent fasting is a very disciplined fasting as well. Let me just check the time here. Looking at it, we're talking about 22 minutes moving up into the hour of 9 o'clock right here. This is Radio Anu family. This is Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. Yes, at the moment, we are streaming to the brothers and sisters on YouTube. Give thanks for those who are tuning in, family. We will be sealing the stream on YouTube momentarily. But let me just say, of course, when the stream on YouTube is sealed, family, all you got to do is press the link below, this video, and it's going to carry you straight to Radio Anu, so you could, continue to hear this reasoning with us. Remember Thursday as well, and don't forget Thursday evening, Rasta Round Table, myself, Ras Isern, Akoma Dread. I'm looking to have a special guest with me, I'm not gonna say who it is yet, but I'm just waiting for a specific word, and that will be beautiful. And before we continue with the reasoning, remember, welcome to the House of Priests on Sunday, every Sunday. We had a beautiful reasoning this Sunday on the very Lent, and we will continue the reasoning on the Lent, because the Lent is more than just fasting, But I just decided that this evening we touch upon this level of reasoning to kind of strengthen us on a scientific level of exactly what's going on with us, what's going on with the goodie as we partake of the fasting. So remember, myself, Honorable Kes Westmore, Rastafari, welcome to the House of Priests. Reasoning is better than preaching. And keep in mind, we don't come here to count cows. We definitely come to drink the sincere milk. And of course, now let's continue now, family. It says may be beneficial for heart health. Let me pass over that. No, let's just go through that quickly. So we have so fasting is beneficial to the health of the heart. Heart disease is currently the world's biggest killer. It's known that various health markers, so-called risk factors, are associated with either an increased or decreased risk of heart disease. Intermittent fasting has been shown to improve numerous different risk factors, including blood sugar levels, blood pressure, blood triglycerides, total and LDL, which they call the bad cholesterol, so they call them, and inflammatory markers. So again, you see again that inflammation again is very, very key. And when it comes to the keeping down of inflammation, how the fasting can do that. Then we also has the benefits on the brain and how it may prevent Alzheimer's. And listen to this, expand your lifespan, helping you to live longer. All of these things, all of these benefits come from the fasting that you do. And really, yes, we can say the fasting, but it's obvious it has to do with your lifestyle. So I mean, you could be fasting and still eating junk. It still cannot be the full benefit that you're receiving, because intermittent fasting has a lot to do with what you eat after you fast. So no food, can't just eat anything, and then no food, and just run and eat anything. No, that is why I know after the fasting period, what is it you're putting in? What are you drinking? Are you continuing, are you assisting the cleansing process with your warm water and your lemon? Are you assisting the cleansing process with your bitters before you going into any deep eating? Are you assisting the cleansing process to wash away all ailments with your coconut water, or what we call jelly water, or your freshly squeezed juice? You know, are you assisting the process to keep the body vital by taking in some warm tea? You know, so what you take in, as I said, your green juice to repair your cells, what you take in after fasting is just as important as the fasting. And that is where you're going to get all of these benefits that we are speaking of. May help to prevent cancer. Yeah? That is how you will be getting these benefits. But let's look at the benefits for the brain. Now, what's good for the body is often good for the brain as well. And here it is now, man. Intermittent fasting improves various metabolic features known to be important for brain health. Intermittent fasting can helps to reduce, again, oxidative stress, which we just spoke of, which has to do with the aging, inflammation again, blood sugar levels, insulin resistance. Several studies in mice and rats have shown that intermittent fasting may increase the growth of new nerve cells. So as we are fasting, we are increasing the growth of new nerve cells. This is in the brain, eh? See what's going on here? Yes, which should have benefits for brain function. Fasting also increases levels of a brain hormone called brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. And BDNF deficiency has been implicated in depression and various other brain problems. So clearly, family, we are seeing here, look, Alzheimer's, some just call it Alzheimer's. We are seeing here clearly that the fasting thing is more than just the fasting thing. And that's why I said it's more than just not eating, it's what you eat as well. So even a person that's not really quote unquote fasting, they wake up every day and by 9 o'clock they're eating something. In fact, they're the persons that are the type of people that they make sure they drink their lemon water every morning. Every morning, they're going to say, hey, every morning you should have your lemon water. So they're not fasting. From they do that, they're not fasting. You know, by 9 o'clock, they have a nice smoothie and maybe their fruits, or they're not even into the fruits bowl thing. They go in their garden and they pick their banana, or they go and pick their papaya, and they pick their pineapple and just eat it and move on. And then maybe by 12, they do have a lunch. It may be similar, fruits, it may be raw vegetables, but it's a high standard. And they may come again in the evening and drink some warm tea and eat something. So they're not necessarily fasting, but they're eating good. They're eating good. So the benefits of eating good food, they will be getting that. But now, if they are to just add the component of giving the goodie a bit more time to rest, then the benefits of the fasting will kick in, coupled with a physical body that's already accustomed to good, clean, fresh, cooling foods. And brown gravy food and smelly food, and what were you eating? Food, oh, fresh, you know, just like you see the lettuce is crisp and fresh, and the bell pepper is fresh and just clean, and water is fresh. That's how it is on the body. So when it's cooked up and it's bubbling down, and it gets a bit complicated, even if it's vegetables you're doing that with. Remember, your goodie is tough, you know, but your goodie is sensitive. Your body is tough, can take anything, the junk that we put into it, and it's still kicking. It's tough, but it's still sensitive. That's why some people, you put the wrong thing in it, they break out in hives. They vomit for days because it's sensitive. But it's tough. It's tough. We try to kill it from the time we start to eat food, and it still keep us here. I'm talking about the body. Eh? So when you're eating the right thing, and then you're doing the fasting, you could see the benefits. Okay, let us continue here now. And I'm getting the word, as I said, that yes, we will definitely have to be sealing off with the streaming to the YouTube. So let me just say, give thanks to the family on YouTube. Before you seal up, just press the like button and give the video some more likes. So ones who are serious about this, they can get an energy. But remember, the link is in the description below. Everyone in YouTube, just go below the description and just press the button and come over to Radio Anu and listen to the rest of this discussion as we are taking place here. So that's just blessed love to those on the YouTube again who will be now joining us here on the Radio Anu. Give thanks. All right, let's continue. So this one is saying, may extend your lifespan, helping you to live longer. Now, just think about that. So fasting, remember we were talking about that in King Emmanuel was saying that when you keep the Sabbath, you add 7 years to your life. We're saying, boy, them